Dukas, my brother Etan Dukas, and this is Andrew Pinder, and we are all part of SynerChi Organics and EnerChi. We will explain what EnerChi is at a later stage this evening. For now, let's get on to what you have on your seats. First of all, you have in your packets what we call cacao beans, we have goji berries, and we have hemp hearts. We call them hemp hearts because they're full of love. You can feel them when they're in your body. You can feel how they work in your body. And we will explain a little bit more about hemp hearts in a moment. The cacao bean is absolutely exceptional. Would you like to tell them a little bit about cacao beans?
Cacao beans, the minerals inside there are absolutely incredible. It helps, let's just say it helps invite more oxygen into the bloodstream, allowing more efficiency of our energy throughout the day. So what it is we like to explain is we call our hemp hearts, which are inside there, hemp hearts for a very big reason. They're providing the body with amazing protein and minerals and nutrients that you need to have a healthy heart function. So along with that, you're getting a nice full of your stomach. Generally when people go through a bit of a gluttonous stage where they're over hungry, they can have a snack like this, and it helps balance out their blood pressure, their immunity, and obviously their sense of focus. Yeah.
And cacao, as it says, it builds blood. So when we're building blood, more oxygen, better recovery in muscles, more functionality during the day, all right? And can we have a show of hands who's vegan in this room at all? Okay. Have we all been vegan for longer than 1 year? Okay. Transition is a little bit easier, a little bit hard. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey and my transition. I started off about 2.5 years ago. Well, first of all, SynerChi started off 4 years ago, ironically 2 days ago. It was our 4-year anniversary. And through SynerChi, in the beginning, we were eating meat, and over time, I felt that my body wasn't functioning, I wasn't really recovering as quickly as possible. So I decided, I've always really been a guinea pig on myself and tried any type of supplements on the market to experience what it does to the body. It's very necessary for us, and I'll get onto it a little bit later on, but to understand how to listen to the communication your body is giving you. So through my process, I eventually, about 2.5 years ago, I started doing yoga and meditation very, very religiously. I do at least 45 minutes of yoga every single morning, and I do it with the sunrise. And I do it to encourage the energy that I have for the day. So veganism is not only about the food that we eat, it's a contribution, but veganism is a whole perspective of life in itself, right? We have to obviously think of the things that we wear, the things that we use in our homes, the things we put in our bodies, and all of this will have an effect on you and have an effect on the environment around. After I'd stopped the cheeses and the dairy products, I had instantaneously, it took about a week for me to become very clear, and my body recovered a lot quicker. I feel more energized. I don't wake up feeling tired anymore at all. I can, as an example, last night I had 3 hours of sleep. We have to obviously prep a little bit for you. I'm fine. There's no problems with energy ever. In a vegan's life, we have to just consider what we're eating at what times at what time of the day we're eating it, and listening to the way the body reacts to the food. That is what I've done on my journey throughout 2 years. It's been 2 years, just about 2 years, that I have been a vegan. It is an enlightening journey, and I can tell you something, there will be no chance that I will be going back to that because of the way that I feel. And when you give yourselves a shot to try that, you will feel the same way, in your own way, of course.
Obviously we've traveled this journey together. So having run SynerChi Organics for over 4 years now, we realized that it actually brought us into a vegan lifestyle, not ourselves bringing into that. So in terms of that, was quite an interesting dynamic to be able to get the nutrients to guide us into a veganism sort of state. So you know what you know when you know it, right? So we now know that the products that we consume are, full of nutrient-dense superfoods. You need to eat less. It's kind of funny when you express this to people. Being a vegan, it always comes up in conversation, right? What is it you eat? What is it? How do you do it? What's the lifestyle? So that in itself is a journey, yes. But when I did turn full vegan, wow, the transition was absolutely incredible. Like I said to you, doing exercises, I felt as though the output of energy was a lot more efficient. I was on the bar swinging. The recovery even after that was, wow, what an incredible place to be at. But yeah, I stand in front of you here today having experienced a beautiful internal change in my lifestyle.
People around the world are becoming vegan conscious and more conscious of the way we express ourselves as both spiritual and as physical beings. And veganism is very much about that, and it is your own expression within the body and understanding the communication that your body gives you. The thing about being vegan is that we're a community of people, right? We want to learn about how health and wellness works within the body. We as ourselves should not be judgmental upon other people coming onto the journey or who don't even want to participate on the journey. We each have our own choice on this planet to do what it is that we want, right? So when somebody starts a conversation and they don't understand veganism, we should rather enlighten them on what veganism is. Your pace. It's not our pace, it's your pace. And if that takes you 5 years to get into becoming a vegan, that's also okay. It's one step at a time. With regards to understanding how to supplement other foods and get nutrition and the right nutrition, it is difficult because superfoods is almost new to people in the market, but people that obviously have been using it for a long time know a little bit and understand a little bit of it and how it works. But do we understand how each superfood can complement one another?
When we deal with synthetic products, meats that put our bodies into a state of acidity, we're not all that focused on our energy awareness. So we start to focus on our outer circumstances, finding caffeine, finding a cigarette, finding this, finding that. So you've got to understand that when this is all a lifestyle that we want to change and allow people to experience. It's not just, okay, we cut out everything one time. It's okay, you don't follow a strict diet. What you got to start doing is saying, okay, cool, I understand what the SynerChi brother said to me, but once, twice a week, I'm going to give it a go. I'll use a recommendation of one of their dishes online or something like that, or you find a nice menu. So it's important to know that just because we're saying to you, hey, you should turn vegan or you should eat a whole bunch of plant-based protein, not quite what we're expressing here. So when dealing with the master gland, we talk about the pineal gland. The pineal gland helps balance out all of the other glands into the system, therefore balancing out our immune system. So if we don't take care of our pineal glands, what's going to happen? All of our hormones start to be out of balance, right? We start to pick up excess weight here, we start to be moody here and there. So many different factors can come from that, but I am saying to you that there are synthetic products out there that will hinder the progress of your pineal gland waking up. So one really cool technique you can do, sunrise or sunset, focused on the sun directly for 10 or 20 seconds. What's happening here is you're getting pineal gland stimulus and the hormones in your bloodstream are all balancing out. So therefore you start to feel less cravings, less hungers for other things. So just a small little tweak can assist somebody drastically. It also helps somebody's eyes, their immune system, and our 12 cranial nerves. This is actually what we're here for, is to look after our cranial nerves that sits inside underneath our diaphragm.
What I normally do if I'm in the circumstance is I won't go and stuff my face and plow carbohydrates and all of these crazy things into my body, because I'm gonna get nice and full and then I'm just gonna crash, right? So what veganism really does is it teaches you how to eat less but eat higher quality nutrients, okay? And through using superfoods and understanding what these superfoods are and how they work in the body, and that's where the SynerChi brothers will come in, and we would like to guide market on specific superfood ingredients and why they work with people. Admittedly, so do eat a lot, but when I eat, I will always make sure that it's consistently small, high protein, high fat meals, okay? High protein and high fat meals for a vegan are essential for production of energy within the body, okay? Protein first and foremost. Vegans tend to, when they come from the transition from dairy and cut out dairy completely, they tend to want to find that something that gives them that energy, and they relay themselves to carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates for vegans are the same kind of thing. It's a no-go, especially when we're having carbohydrates at lunchtime. If we have carbohydrates at lunchtime, whether you're a vegan or no vegan, you will crash. You will have a very slumpy afternoon where you're unproductive, and that's when Ethan says you start drinking all of the stimulants, okay? This is not what we want. We want to stimulate the body without using stimulants, and we can easily do that with specific foods. Chaga mushrooms, as an example, are a very, very good cancer fighting product, and is very highly nutrient dense. It helps connect our synapses in such a way that it gives our synapses better signals. But maybe tell us a little bit about how you exercise and use your food in your life.
Because like you said earlier on, it's a strict diet. Well, when I was competing, it was a very strict diet. So it would be some oats in the morning with 8 eggs, 7 of them egg whites, 1 yolk. Then about 10 o'clock, you'll have about 250 grams chicken, 200 grams rice with some vegetables. 1 o'clock will be some chicken again with some vegetables and sweet potato. Through about 4 o'clock, you'll be eating your 6 to 8 egg whites again with 1 yolk, about 3 rice cakes. And then, of course, in the evening, you would have your normal salad with a protein. And sometimes you'll supplement with a protein shake.
The reason why I call David up here is so that we could help you understand what somebody eats in a normal life. I love you very dearly, but that's a lot of food, okay? The stomach has to learn to digest this food, etc. So if we feed our bodies things that are easy to digest, i.e. superfoods and vegetables, our bodies function easier, they absorb higher quantities of nutrients, and we can get high quantities of proteins through specific foods. Hemp seeds, hemp protein, cacao beans even have protein. I don't know if you all know, but goji berries actually have 28 grams of protein per 100 grams. How does he replace that? So there's a technical rule of protein that one needs to absorb in a day, especially if one exercises. If one is exercising, we need to absorb per kilogram of body weight 1.8 to 2 grams of protein, okay? So you do the math, if you're 60 kilos, you're looking at around 120 grams of protein in a day. That is very easy to get from superfoods, and you will get much more than just the protein. You will get a house of omegas. In hemp seeds, you have a perfectly balanced ratio of omegas. These are fatty acids. Good omegas in the body will help burn unnatural fats and will replenish the body with healthy fats. Omegas are also good for the brain and the brain function. So over time, what we'll learn is we just cut out, we replace. So as an example, we could replace the whey protein shake with a vegan protein shake as an example. Your bodies are sensitive, especially considering we've eaten all of these unhealthy foods for so long, and we've been channeled in that direction. It's time for all of us to take a stance and channel it in our own directions, and that's what we will do with health food. Thank you, David.
We got to understand that 80% of our foods are filled with sugars, processed sugars, that are very cheap and for a very specific reason. And we also understand that it is 8 times more addictive than cocaine. So, you know, from this day on out, I hope that really does impact your life, because that is a major part of our unawareness of our internal thinking. So when dealing with sugars, okay, as a vegan, some will say, no, please don't eat honey, for instance, okay? So that is some vegans' perceptions of it. You are more than welcome to have honey as a vegan, making that transition into your lifestyle. But I'm gonna recommend agave syrup, rice syrup, agave sugar, and coconut sugar. Coconut sugar we use in our products as well. It's electromagnetic in its stimulus, so therefore it helps invigorate the brain and nervous system somewhat. So when we dealing with the transition, once again, because it is a transition, it's the cravings that we want to really mentally get past. Many people know that there are two types of detoxing. So phase 1 and phase 2 liver detox. Phase 1 being your greens. Yes, everybody gets recommended greens as a natural detox. But what that's doing is it's taking it out of your liver and now it's in your bloodstream. What do you do from there? Right? You have to get it out. So things like fresh garlic. People tend to put their garlic first and cook with their garlic, and then by that time all the nutrients are done. Okay, we want to add it in at the end so we get a nice fresh feel to our garlic, and it also tastes delicious. So that's in itself is a good antioxidant. It helps draw out the toxins from the system. Grapefruit as another example, really cool, fun. I don't know how many people enjoy grapefruit, but sprinkle some honey or a little bit of coconut sugar or guava syrup or whatever you have and just tuck into it. Also helps cleanse the bloodstream. Beetroot is one of the most incredible ones. That's grapefruit and beetroot, phase 2 detox. You're getting it out the system once again, and that's what we want. We want to get rid of all the unnatural stuff that's been in our system and get the natural stuff into our system. So your body can start recognizing it from that angle. So that's a little bit of a tip for you guys. How do you deal with your lifestyle as being in an office? Let's just say you go and source superfoods from your local health store. Okay, get a couple of different superfoods and you're gonna pack them into a bag and just add them to whatever it is you're taking there. Kiara and I have a very big belief that because you're taking the superfoods, it's uptaking the minerals in your system. It's recognizing the right minerals before it recognizes the wrong ones. So at least there you're making a transitional step, okay? And wow, what happens when, yes, okay, you have to go downstairs and eat a pizza for lunch or a nice white bread sandwich. Rather just, cut out the cheese or one or two other things and add in vegetables here and there. It really is much simpler than people, we always get feedback from people saying it's very hard to eat out, it's very hard to do this. That's just an excuse for you not to take the next day to the next level.
Veganism is easy, but people make it seem hard. We all just have to work on communities. There's a lot of Facebook pages that are all vegan pro, but those vegan pages, they offend other people. We're not about that. We are about helping people and helping people understand, let's walk together along this journey. We want to guide people on the superfoods because the superfoods for us have been the most fundamental component in us thriving in veganism. In veganism, I don't know how people would survive on just fruits and vegetables because there's limited amounts of protein. So we have to add beans and quinoa and legumes, lentils, those kinds of things. But that affects people also. So we have to listen to the body again. And if we can't eat kidney beans, we don't eat those kidney beans. We move on, we find a different source of protein. So every single person in this room, I don't know how many people are here, but will be completely different. There will be overlaying scenarios where we will eat the same things.
Cutting down larger amounts of plates and just say a percentage of. So I'll use the pizza scenario, okay? When Kiara and I first started our journey, we go to a restaurant, get a pizza, and we'd said, look, 2 on the way home, we're gonna give it to somebody. That's how we started. 2 slices, we're gonna start to cut down. We give this to somebody, we make somebody else's life happy. That's very cool. But at the same time, I'm also helping myself because I'm not stuffing my face. I have to finish this meal because I paid for it. See, so it's also that mental approach towards it. People do want to finish their plates of food. You don't need to. So a nice recommendation is switch it out for a smoothie as a dinner. When you're at home, you're in a rush state. It takes 2 minutes. You chuck in, I wouldn't recommend a banana in the evening, but some coconut milk, some almond milk. We got some delicious hemp milk over there. You can chuck that into a blender, just some nice water and some ice with some superfoods or just some basic and general protein sources like Kiara mentioned earlier on. So that as a start, you'll start to see over the next month, you're going to want to eat less in the evenings as a start, but also wake up feeling better because you feel less heavy waking up. When you've got that smash load of food inside your system, after that sun sets on the western horizon, melatonin starts kicking in, so your body wants to shut down, does it not?
Our idea for EnerChi is to create medicinal food. okay? Medicinal foods through government cooperations where we have communities of people growing organic and sustainable fruits and vegetables. This is not only going to be supplying EnerChi with medicinal foods, it will be supplying other restaurants, other retailers. The purpose of EnerChi is to help show you how recipes really work in food with superfoods. So SynerChi is all about the superfoods and the education on the superfoods, and EnerChi is all about combining the superfoods to give you the highest quality, healthy nutrition. So Andrew will be introducing one of our products, Intelligent Protein. He will be making an Intelligent Protein smoothie, and I will let Andrew take over from here.
Truth can be found in nutrition, and opening up all of our eyes and our senses to what's really going on out there. So from an EnerChi perspective, it's conceptualized now. We're in the process of getting it started and running. We've made some delicious treats for you. And it's something that I'm going to be also learning a lot about and educating myself on. As in college I wasn't taught anything about nutrition. Finding it very difficult to actually speak about nutrition to a lot of my friends because most of them are all blindsided by the fact that beer is good, you know. So first of all, it's very lovely to see how many people actually came out tonight, and that we're actually able to communicate with and talk to. So I know they did say that they've got questions and answers at the end. But please, I don't know as much as them about veganism, but I can definitely tell you how I got to this stage and how I lost my weight using their products. Because ideally it was their products that got me to the next platform. And I do say though that staying consistent and persistent with what you believe in will take you to the next level, which is ideally where we all should be wanting to go. Because I'm quite fed up with the way things are going. And you know, if I want change, I've got to make it myself. And I've got to look internally, which we haven't been taught. So it is a journey that I'm still scared to take because to say as a chef, you know, it's my bread and butter, literally. To say that I won't cook meat and that is probably now one of the hardest things that I'm trying to accustom myself to. But I did say for the next 6 months, being that today is a very important day, that I'm definitely going to give it horns. And I'm going to put my foot down because I believe this is the answer, man. To all your medical problems, to everything. Like food it's the fuel to life. It brings everyone together. We just need to celebrate it more.
Intelligent Protein. Intelligent Protein, guys, please, we're here to promote superfoods. We're not here to necessarily promote brands. We want to talk to you about the superfoods, okay? So Intelligent Protein is cacao powder. There's a difference between cacao and cocoa. Cocoa is extracted with chemicals and is not very good for us. The cacao powder is, again, blood building. It tastes phenomenal, and cacao powder basically comes from a process of pressing the cacao bean, getting that cacao butter out. You are left with whatever you want to call it, the leftovers, the herd. That is then dried and then crushed, and then that is your cacao powder, okay? It's a phenomenal what results you could get out of a cacao bean. I don't know if any of you know David Wolf. Yeah, okay, he's a world-renowned dietitian, and his favorite product on this earth is a cacao bean, and we wonder why. Cacao bean is phenomenal for the body, and that's exactly why we gave you the 3 different products in the little packet so that you could experience something healthy and invigorating in life. So all the ingredients, do you want to tell them a little bit about what we're creating here?
Tonight what we're going to do is make a warm smoothie using some of the Intelligent Protein, and yeah, it's delicious.
So, not sure if you all know, but tonight is the winter solstice for the Southern Hemisphere, and this is the transition of the shortest night, shortest day, and is the transition for the sun to come back towards us, towards our summer, which I'm sure we're all craving right now. So what we're going to do is when we This is going to be a warm intelligent smoothie. You can see the ingredients are very simple. We're literally just adding intelligent protein, which is all of these ingredients. So I am going to just come in and add them all in front. So right here we have maca. No, this is ashwagandha, excuse me. Yeah, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. Ashwagandha helps the body uptake the protein to the muscles, to the tissues, and it helps the body utilize that protein. Okay, I'm just going to throw them. Excuse us. Okay, this is cinnamon. Cinnamon is a phenomenal complementary product to cacao. Cinnamon is very good antioxidants, and it also helps us dream very, very nicely. And cinnamon obviously has other medicinal properties. Ancient civilizations have used cinnamon for thousands of years for antibacterial properties and antifungal properties within the gut. Sure, these things are. So as you can see, we are throwing in the powder first into a blender. We want to throw the powder in first and not your solid ingredients. Why we do this is so that when the blender starts, it blitzes up the powder. It doesn't leave you with chunky powder that you will end up sipping on and not really enjoying. So our beautiful cacao powder, I'm sure we all know by the end of this night what cacao powder does for us. So how we're putting it in here is the equivalent of 3 servings of this, which is 3 scoops, and essentially obviously this is quite a big blender, so we will require a little bit more than just a single serving. So this is coconut sugar. Coconut sugar, as Etan said earlier on, has electrolytes. It has other little macronutrients in it, so technically is the lesser of the evil. In our product, we only put 50 grams per kilo. We are very conscious of sugar. We have only put it to change the taste slightly. When you use coconut sugar, you will find it has a very caramel-like flavor. Amazing. It's absolutely amazing when you mix it in with specific things. You'll see there we have made, what would we call them, Andrew? We have made.
Supposed to be a truffle.
Yes, they were. Admittedly so. I did mess them up a little bit. So they are now vegan squares instead of vegan circles, truffles. And what we have done is, we'll explain to you a little bit more, but we have thrown a little bit of sweet potato powder and cacao powder, chia seeds and hemp seeds. Chia seeds are phenomenal for protein and omegas as well. This is chaga mushrooms. We know what chaga mushrooms are. Chaga mushrooms come from Siberia, mostly grown in Siberia, and they have you can make tea out of the chaga. It is phenomenal, and you will feel very energized, and it doesn't give you this buzz. It gives you a relaxing kind of feeling, not a sleepy feeling, but a relaxing kind of feeling. Maca, an incredible libido stimulant. It is an adaptogen itself as well, and it tastes phenomenal. Maca is, for me, it's one of my most favorite superfoods, just because of the sweet flavor that it gives. Of course, this is hemp protein. This is how SynerChi Organics started. We started on the fundamental of protein, but the transition through veganism, we have a worry about where to find milk, right? Milk for tea, milk for coffee, milk for breakfast, etc. We love taking our hemp hearts, and we take 2 scoops, it's about 50 grams, and we mix it with about 500 mils of water in the blender, and we like to have it with the little hemp bits in after, because that is still part of nutrition. Otherwise, what we do is we put it through a nice little milk sack, cheesecloth or whatever you want to call it, and we strain out those bits, and then you get a really delicious, rich, creamy milk, which was in there.